Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to another ReRoll podcast. Tonight's conversation is a couple things to know before you start streaming your RPG games or D&D games. We're gonna get legal in this beat tonight. Um, so if you're ever thinking about doing this world that we do, here are some things that we've learned in the three-ish years that we've been collectively collectively we've been doing it longer, so the 3 years that DNC has been doing this.
Yes.
Yeah, but so on the podcast we have a Dickie, we have Vic, I think Tabby's in the corner, and then me, Jesus. Yeah, so yeah, again, topic is we're just gonna get legal with this but before we do that, before we start looking at questions from the audience, let's do a little bit of recap of where the games are. I really, really just want to give props to our Rise of Tiamat DM, because
Why?
the entire game spanned on getting milkshakes. Well, that's not
3
the entire...
hours of getting milkshakes.
Yes, 3 hours of getting milkshakes. It was beautiful. I did not know that we could have fun just convincing greedy, angry-looking adventurers to try this new invention called a milkshake.
Oh man, full
It's-
disclosure: if the game ever goes like that, that's because the DM had nothing planned.
Oh, really?
They needed to do some reading.
You,
So it's
you
like,
guys,
I
guys take the
mean,
reins.
technically, I did have an outline for how this adventure was going to go.
Yes, yes.
It's always fun letting you guys handle the pacing because it's like, oh, I gotta see what happens next now.
Yeah.
I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, I think it's good. As we have in chat, they bring all the boys to the yard.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they brought my boy to the yard.
They brought your big cowboy to the yard.
He is a cowboy, quite literally. He is
a
a cow
literal-
and a boy.
A literal cowboy.
Yeah. Oh man, I should have given him a hat. Oh, why did I make him a cowboy? Oh.
Honestly, like, I'm having so much fun with. He needs a cowboy hat, honestly. But I've been having so much fun with Rise of Tiamat because I just love how wholesome this group of adventurers are. And I love counteracting that with a character like Jayon in your party.
Jayon is just someone we need to break. We need to make him smile.
Aw.
It's
Honestly, the best thing I was ever told today was I was at work and I was pulled aside and the quote was, "Hey, I just need you to know, I think Jayon's a little bitch." And I'm like, "Thank you." Thank you, he is.
I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, it's really odd that all of us.
He's got depth.
Yeah, he does. He does. I think it's odd that at when the end of Rise of Tiamat going into the end of Port of the Dragon King going into Rise of Tiamat, we all were like, I think this is a good beat to retiring characters because like their mission is over, their personal goals have been at least somewhat achieved, or at least the path for them to go on and achieve their goals. So we're gonna make new characters, and every single person that came into the new campaign with the new character was all a bunch of, do we have to kill this person or can we just talk it out? Every single one. And it's just, it was a complete coincidence because nobody really knew what people were going to be, except for, we all knew Alistair, but...
Alistair's a good boy.
And we all know his character because, the comic. Hey, that's a shameless plug.
Hey, shameless plug for the Alistair webcomic on Webtoon.
Yeah. But it's just, I knew that at least my boy Tarsius was going to bond with him because... I'll kill a dragon. I mean, I did, but it's only in self-defense.
In all fairness, the dragon hit your sister first.
All
bets are off when anything hits your sister.
Don't touch my sister. And now extend to don't touch my friends. And if anyone touches Precious, I'm gonna moo. I'm gonna moo so hard.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought it was very wholesome because I wrote for the Theros game, they're the villain of this, which is also a thing that kind of wanted to talk maybe next podcast. Shane's like idea of like, hey, looking for topics for the podcast. He gave me an amazing inspiration because they're in Karametra's like little arc right now, and Karametra is a goddess of harvest and vegetation and protection. And how do you make that in a conflict? So that game was a little bit of like, I did not expect this in a D&D game, which one was the villain was vegetables. I had multiple players says, I don't feel comfortable in this town. Everybody's turning into vegans. And the fruit and the veggies were making people a little bit weird, and making people lose faith in their deities. And then the other thing was when they entered her forest, they have a little spirit who is like, the forest is going to test you. Their first test, seeing with the theme of Karametra, was family. It could be a bitch. And every single one of them had to play hide and seek with their younger self. And when they finally caught them, they exploded in psychic damage and turned into a butterfly and ran away.
Amazing.
And you were like, did we accomplish what we need to do? Like, yeah, you played hide and seek and ran away from vegans. Welcome to D&D. I just thought it was fun, hilarious. In the Harry Potter game, right now they found the Horcrux and they need to destroy it. So have fun with that. BS. 100 episodes in. 100
episodes in and you dropped a Horcrux.
Yep. It was written. I didn't know when it was gonna be. I thought it was like kind of like, oh, literally at episode 100, bam, there's the drop. And in Sacred World, I think our players are broken. At least half of them are. Which I'm glad and I am sorry, but I'm mostly glad. Because it means that I didn't write something mundane as villain bad.
No, I like it because you obviously you as a writer and a DM, you are treating us with as, you know, you're not trying to, you know, hold on, I'm trying to find my words. You from the beginning, you never tried to spoon feed us. You had all the information that you want to say. You had all the information there to begin with. It was up to us to realize what and all was going on in this world. And then now that we have a party member from the outside, like several new changes of party members, and it's just like, hey guys, wait a minute. What are we doing? And that's the moment where we all stopped and went, oh shit, what are we doing?
It's yay.
Yeah. But no, I mean, West has always been broken, let's be real.
Yeah, I ain't done with him yet.
I know.
I
may have taken the tough feat, but that doesn't mean that's it works with his heart.
What's that meme where like there's a heart that opens the door and tries to like, oh, I'm gonna go out in the real world, then gets stabbed and then goes back into the box.
Yeah, that meme. That's West. That's West, absolutely. Except he keeps making the same fucking mistake and doing it.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think Friday is gonna be an interesting.
I think the best way I could sum it up, I used this line in my my game with Shane where I played my little bard Phoebus, and a horrible thing happened to him that completely traumatized him. That was he lost his father, it was like, Phoebus, would you like to do anything? And like I was out of spell slots. I have a dinky little rapier, and it was like the only thing I could think of in the moment was like I want to use my reaction for Hellish Rebuke, but that's only when you take physical damage. And I had to ask the question, does my reaction work if it's emotional damage?
Yeah, I've been asked.
Like, no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly.
It is not.
Like, no.
That's not how that works.
That's the DM's like no.
Yeah, it's like I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah.
And that's what sums up my experience for me.
Well,
can I use my emotional damage? No.
I'm glad that both me and Shane are breaking you.
I'm old. Yeah. I mean, what else is new?
Oh man, I'm also.
I apparently love to make characters that are just completely broken.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Isn't that us?
Yeah, no, I'm just self-projecting. But yeah.
Yeah, we tend to, as a majority, I assume, this is a huge assumption, of
Yeah.
players tend to do that. Because the few characters that I've ever, like, made and played in a campaign that lasted more than just, like, a one-shot have always been characters that take on more than they can chew. Like, this is way out of my league, but I'm going to pretend like I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, wait, that's me!
Yeah! I have your notes for Tarsius, I know.
Like, I've read the story.
I've read the story.
I've read Tarsius and Fox. That's all I need to know.
Yes.
Oh, wait until Husk. He is probably the most broken idea I've ever had.
Oh no.
I've never made him in a game, and I really will, because you said it one time passing, therefore now it's forever. That you wanted to DM the Curse of Strahd campaign.
Yes.
I will 100% put that broken puppy in that game.
Yes, I am definitely accepting applications for Curse of Strahd, so
Is that how we're gonna do it? Accept applications for
I am accepting applications for your most traumatized characters.
Excellent.
All edge here.
Yeah. But any either questions from audience or specific topics that you guys want to discuss from our games the past 2 weeks or so before we go into tonight's actual topic?
Don't forget, I will be coming in a little bit late.
Oh yes, which
if somebody has to cover for me, I'll be in there as soon as I can.
I 100% appreciate it, my dude. I really do. It helps me out so much when I know that. It's like, all right, here we go. Someone take care of this. Versus last minute. I get to. It's a lot easier when
hold this boy.
Yeah. Hold the old leg. Why is he so heavy? Why does he have so much muscle?
So much muscle mass.
Yeah. I think Oleg's been one of the most like physically fit characters I've ever had a presence to read their sheet. Because like, my God, your dexterity, constitution, and strength is
he is
up
a
there.
Soldier through and through.
He's like
he's a stud.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. What's before? I think Oleg is the OG Ben Swole. He's just like, bam! Look at them, right
Bam,
there.
look at them.
Oh, yay!
Oh yay!
But all right, let's move into tonight's conversation. And before we do, I want to 100% need to say and stress this out. One, we're not lawyers.
I am not smart enough to be.
I took a lot of poli-sci classes, and criminal justice was my major originally, and then it became philosophy. These are 100% our experience. This is 100% not legal advice that you should take. So this is just an open conversation amongst friends, and this is what we've learned, and that's it. That's where we end that.
Also, never take legal advice from me. I'm getting dumber by the day.
Well, stop it.
I can't.
I can't do it. Most of my notes personally are geared towards Dungeons and Dragons, just because personally that is the games that I do. So this might be obscure towards that if you are into other RPGs like Dread or Cthulhu or Seven Seas, etc. Gamma World. This probably will still apply because the world has turned very gray into the realms of taking an IP that is meant for people to play together and commune and putting it on the internet from our experience. But if you really want to know, like, you should, it's always good advice never not read things. If you go to company.wizards.com/legal/terms, you will get all the legal jargon you need to read on, like, what to do. But, which I have it here, like, the actual, like, paragraph on, like, how to use their intellectual property in streaming platforms, like non-commercial and third-party content. But at the end of the day, it's kind of simplified as, sure, you can. That's fine. we like that you're playing the games. Don't do anything dumb with it. Like that's kind of what it is. At the end of the day, even like going on Twitch, there's a lot of high-profile Twitchers, streamers that use copyrighted music and don't actually have permission from the artist to do so. Doesn't mean that you should do it. It's just nobody's gonna sue your home game for doing something that Wizard would be like, we don't have time to deal with you. It's fine. You did it one time. We don't really care.
We're too busy making money.
Yeah, one of they do have a link for their it's at company.wizards.com/fan policy, and legitimately in their terms and services of it, it says please don't do anything that will put us in a legal situation. Trust us, our lawyers are already overwhelmed.
Oh no!
It's like, I mean, it's one of those I have here. Like they pretty much did all the legal work so we can like play D&D and not have anybody else get in any legal trouble for this. But going on to like why you should just go ahead and play, it's fine. It's gray areas. In the world of technically, you can say this is a Let's Play. In the world of Let's Plays, it's the transformative content of taking something and then adding commentary to it is kind of why it's in fair use. We're not saying this is what it's kind of understood. Whenever we sit down and play D&D, or whenever we sit down and play Gamma World or Boot Hill Bill or anything, any game, we never say this is ours. We are playing a game somebody else made.
That is the reason why at the beginning of every game you pretty much lay it out. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, this is
give credit to where credit is belonged to, therefore making some of the copyright gods smile, saying, "Okay, I got my props."
Yeah, which I never thought of doing. That's why, but it is exactly correct. Like we said, this is the 5th edition game. This is where it takes part of. These are the books that I'm using. So like that's why it's cool, and it's not saying that you can do like Sacred World is really heavy homebrew, and you can do stuff like that. That's why Dungeons and Dragons is an open license game where you can create things. You just can't say this is official. That's why the homebrew community is so big and that's why Wizards of the Coast is such an amazing company, and all these other companies that do that allow Let's Plays, because that's what they're doing. They're allowing us to do this. They're allowing people to make a living, if they're lucky enough, doing just entertainment based on the stuff that they've produced. We've never said this is ours. We never said we are affiliated with it. When you make a homebrew class, you're not saying this is D&D. You're saying this is a homebrew thing. I made it using the open source things, which we can get into.
You're not making a profit out of it. You're not looking to make a profit out of it. So basically, you're not taking somebody's idea and trying to make money off it.
We're not the technical is like we're not selling Sacred World the game / the specific stats of elves. We are saying if you want to donate, which is a subscription, it's totally optional, you can't, and that is for the entertainment, not the physical math of the content. So things like we have in the past, when we did our very first baby campaign back in year 1, a couple 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I forget where we are. We wrote an email to Wizards of the Coast saying, "Hey, can we use images from the books?" And they said yes. And the reason why is because they already did all the legal stuff that they needed to. Like, they already paid the artists. They already have them in their notations. And we never said, "Hey, look, this is our artwork." I literally moved a book in front of a camera when we don't have it because we're not
I saw it. I saw everything.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You feel good? We never said this is ours. And when we do like the pre-roll art, it's all fan art, and it's all, we've never said nor are we claiming that it's us. It's either fan art or it's official for DNC. art that Vic or Lynn or Dickie or Jeremiah have done of like their interpretations of what's been happening. So you can use images that are in the books. Just never say that it's yours. That's the printed stuff we've been okayed with. Which, if we were okay with it, I assume, therefore, everybody has the ability to be like, this is what an urban Hulk looks like. That's cool.
Well, that's also like what we're planning in the future is playing a certain game of a certain genre.
Yes, yes.
And that I had contacted the creator of that game, and we had talked, and I had asked him, can we use your artwork as in our promos, stuff like that. He says, no problem. You can use my artwork. You just can't sell it. We had no intention of selling it, but we were going to use it just to add to be more visual towards our
yes
introduction and stuff like that.
And that's the exact same thing with the going into like legalities that I've seen with Hero Forge. So when in the terms of services, when you go into the Hero Forge website and you go make a mini, you make them exactly the way you want. It's beautiful. The color is perfect. Great. You purchase it. Amazing. That miniature, that art that you see, the 3D model, Hero Forge owns that. That is their property. That does not mean that they own the character, let's say West. West's character is owned by the person who created it. So, Vic, you own the character West.
I own him.
Is he. So if I take as an example the physical 3D model of West, screenshot it and put it on, let's say, a book, and then sell the book and say, oh, this is the Adventures of West, Hero Forge can contact me and say, hey, yo, we own that image. We don't own the book, we own the image. You need to, here is what we can do after that. So, what about music? There's a lot of royalty-free music that all you do is shout out the person, which all of our YouTube videos and the videos the music goes on Spotify as well. Says here's a link to the composer. There is and I will always give these dudes prop, or this dude prop, because it's a father and I don't know if it's a father and son team, but it's a father who wrote music for his son when they play games. That was the original thing. So Tabletop Audio, I have donated to them, bought some of their shirts. I love them so much. Essentially, it's music that you can use. And in their Q&A, which always go read if you ever have any clue, any doubt, it pretty much says, hey, if you're a small streaming group and you're making no money, I don't care. Use my music. It's fine. If you start making a little bit of money, and that money is going to paying for your services and your editing process and your software, which that's at the level that we are, Jesus is making more money on this than we are getting by any means.
Right.
That's totally cool. Once you actually start making a living off this and you're using my music, then contact me. We'll talk, which I think it's a beautiful approach.
For sure.
In this modern day, not to compare it to, hey, can you do this art commission for me? It's exposure, not that. Not anywhere near that. But people are generally doing these things and are already doing it. And it's I'm doing this as a side thing. I have my own living. I am a composer for realsies. If it makes people happy, it makes people happy. Right. And that's their things, and you should be respectful of that. And if they're like, no, this is mine, I really worked hard on it, this is how much a licensee is. Because there's copyrights, and then there's the licensing fees. So just because something's copyright free or there's two terms for it, and I'm blanking on it. There's royalty free and copyright free, which are two different things. To be able to use something without permission, they both need to be copyright and royalty. You can buy royalty free music and just you pay $20 that song. You have the receipt. Put it wherever you want. That's what it's for. copyright. So yeah, those two things.
Mm-hmm.
And if an artist doesn't want you to use it because they worked really hard on it and it's totally their intellectual property, don't be a jerk and use it without their permission.
Which I've noticed that this is actually a common thing that does happen in the art community, and it's not a good thing. Where you have an artist on like Twitter or ArtStation, and they make a character concept, or like, hey, this is a character concept that I like the idea of, and I'm playing around with it, and then somebody sees that concept, and is like, oh, that's my character now. I'm going to take this concept and I'm going to make this my character. And they do that, and they like take all the art and they'll like put it on like their Twitter and stuff and be like, look, this is my character. Look at how amazing my baby is. Like, don't do that. Yeah. Like that's not a good thing to do. Always ask permission if you want to use an image. And sometimes, and especially if you're going to be a person that's going to be like, oh, this is my character, and you want to like claim ownership of the look or anything. Usually the artist isn't going to agree with that. At least I would not. Be like, no, this is my own concept that I probably want to use for a future project. So, if you like the concept, that's great, but like you can't have it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I don't like. I'm just gonna be on a small rant for a minute, but
go vent.
Because it's like it's a thing in the art community, like copyright legality. Like it's a constant thing that's always going on, and somebody's always gonna cross some line. And just like a general PSA, because I've witnessed people do this, like in Discords and etc. Don't hustle an artist for free shit. Like, don't pretend to be their friend just so you can get free art of your character. That is the most unattractive thing you can do, like as a person.
Yeah.
Like I have witnessed people do that. It's so
free
horrible.
labor. It's the same thing with like, hey,
if they want to draw you art of your character, then that's fine. But like, don't hustle for it. That's not good.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want art of your character, please pay someone.
You should always pay for if you can pay for the art, always pay for it. Like that was the first thing I ever got into when we were doing like back when Divide and Conquer was a dream production. We were just doing films. The very first thing that we discussed was if we can pay our friends to do this, we will. That is the first thing. And if we can't, letting you know it's free. This is all volunteer work. It is like you agree to this. It's not trying to steal pennies for free work.
You have to also understand who you're working with too, because I'm in my book that I'm writing, I'm using a lot of icons for scene breaks, and I found this one place that I'm getting them, and all they say is, just give us the credit.
Which is
you don't have to buy it. Just give us the credit that you're using our icons in your book.
Shout out.
So
shout out to amazing.
Said, okay, that works for me. I don't have a problem with that. So I'll just make sure I'll have it all out there for them. So some of these people just want the recognition. They just want the credit. Some of these people, or I should say most people, want to make a buck.
Which,
and those are expensive, y'all.
And one more time, sorry?
I said bills are expensive, y'all.
Yeah, yes. In the modern age of, because I am so fascinated with the concept of this. I was watching an interview with David Bowie, and back when they started making music really early on, and they were telling their families and friends, like, this is what I want to do. I want to make this art for the rest of my life. That wasn't an option. You can become a freelance artist, and it's a career path for you. So the fact that people are still mistaken, like, it's just drawings. Like, why do you care? Just give it to me. Like, I've heard that conversation reading some of my friends' DMs, and like, look what this person said to me. Like, it's art is a medium and an entertainment and an industry in and of itself. You want great cooking, so you're going to go to our bros at Jeremiah's specific restaurant that I will not name for reasons.
For legal reasons.
Yeah, exactly. The legal reasons. And he will make you an amazing, amazing pasta. You're not just going to... That's why you're paying the extra buck for that amazing, delicious dish. That's why you're paying the extra buck to see that amazing movie. That's why you're paying those bucks to see that amazing digital work that you are asking for. So yeah, pay people the price. Don't, if they say it's
please play it, people.
Yeah,
Like,
if they say it's $40, don't try to do 35. It's 40.
It's supply and demand, basically.
Yeah. If you can't afford it, and they're like, "Hey, I only have 30."
Unless.
Yeah, please.
What?
Oh, I was gonna say, please continue. I interrupted you.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right. I was like, if you
Yeah,
all you have is,
I was agreeing with you.
Oh my god. Excuse me. I was talking here and I got interrupted.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. No, what I was saying, like,
excuse me. If my internet's taking a shit right now, so.
All right. If all you have is $30,
sorry if I'm...
oh my god.
I'll shut up. You go ahead.
This is what copyright infringement's all about.
That's exactly what it is. Long story short, pay your artist. There we go. We can move on to the next thing.
Now,
stop stealing my words or pay me.
Backing up a little bit to music.
Yes, please.
Yes.
I pretty much, I've always listened to movie scores. I've always, because of writing and also gaming and stuff like that. When I was teaching in a class near the end, I was playing Gamma World with the students. And I was also saving music on my computer in the classroom. And I had a big active board, so I was able to, during our homeroom, I could put the whole scene on the board, or tactical and stuff like that. And I would play music according to the situation. And I remember one student saying, "Oh, this music makes you feel like I'm really in it," And I said, "Well, that's the purpose of the whole thing." Then when I found out, I joined your group, and I said, "Well, hey, I got tons of music we can use." He went, we can't. Because of copyright. Yeah. I kind of went, wow. I never thought about that.
In your home game, whatever. Like, I've had the very few times that I've taken like sound bits, it's because I grab something, transform it to such a degree that it's completely different. But it's like I think. I know Sirenscape gets mentioned a lot, but I don't know if we were able to actually stream with Sirenscape. Like, it's an amazing program, but I don't think we can use it. The only reason why we're even using tabletop audio is because they specifically said in their frequently asked questions, as long as, if you're not making a living off this, that's fine. I understand. Please use this. I made it for my son so we can play and have an interactive, an immersive game. And if we ever get to a situation where, hey, maybe we have a couple bucks in our hands because of all the content we make, then immediately the first thing I'm going to do is yo, this is what we're doing. This is how transparent I want to be with you. Well, how do you want to handle this? Because we love your music. And then we'll move on forward from that. I know Critical Role, specifically, they have contracts with people and what music they can and cannot use, and sometimes different licenses. The Witcher game, they allowed us for these 3 episodes to use their music, and those are the rules for that type of music. But also if you're looking for some cool music, I would also suggest youtube.com/audio library. They would be sectioned between what you can use non-credit wise and what you can use credit wise. That is all for YouTube content. So
I was planning on just writing the composer and asking for permission.
Yeah, that's also exactly what you could do. Talking to people, and most, I think, individuals would be very happy with oh, someone really likes my work. Can we use it? And they'll say yay or nay or yes, but with this condition, which is totally agreeable. As that we did this. Yeah, we did it earlier for can we use this image? I wanted to. I don't know if it even matters, but there is the danger of precedent within the legalities of things. Here's a warning that I have seen in this is something I've seen in the YouTube community that could transfer over to live streaming, which if we just make videos and put them on YouTube, it will affect us. But a little bit of legality issues with that because the world of Let's Plays is so new. The world of playing a game, filming it, and putting it out for people as entertainment is very, very, very new. And the language at the moment for fair use content is as long as it's transformative. So you can watch videos of people playing a video game and no face, no nothing, and all you're like, oh, ah. Those little O's and ahs by the jargon that I have read and how I'm understanding it, which I'm not a lawyer, is like that is transformative. You are not saying this is your game. You're saying this is my experience playing it. I am sharing it with you. The whole let's play. Like we are all part of it. We're all experiencing it. If it does, so if people start rocking the boat, this is my like fear, because pessimism and jaded world or views that I have. If it gets rocked too much, it could set a law of precedence that could ruin it for everybody. So that's why just ask permission. If people say no, the company says no, then just don't do it. If the artist says don't use my art, don't play my music. If a video game company says, hey, we're not cool with you streaming it, then just don't. Most RPG games, especially Wizards, they have a very specific, do not use this art, do not use these logos, don't say it came from you. We have an open license for these reasons, so you can go have fun. If you want to make your own world, class, and spells, go ahead and do it. Just
hey, that's
don't,
what I did.
Just don't say, just don't say it came from D&D. That's your own game.
Yeah, for instance, because as with the Alistair comic, shameless plug. Basically, what we did was because Alistair was originally a D&D character from the game that Lynn played in, and so
Excuse me.
that was Alistair was actually supposed to be her backup character for Grayson in his original campaign. So, following the rule of always introduce new characters as NPC, so he was an NPC within that world for a while.
Yeah.
And so, basically, wanting to make Alistair, his own thing, we had to take a lot of his lore and just kind of turn it around and rewrite it for ourselves so that it was our own original content. Like, for instance, Alistair was originally a paladin of Soon, which was always interesting because he is a very good ace boy. So
yeah,
a lot of people were like really, man, they were like
not
pulling hairs. They were pulling hairs at the whole. But you can't be asexual and a paladin of Soon. How can you do that? Well, you can still love things without.
You can. You can love a lot of people and never have to want to have a sexual relation with them. It's called being
more than
a person.
One kind of love.
Yes, I love every single person in our group, and I love many people, like true love. And I don't want to do any of those things with almost any one of them.
We know Jeremiah is the exception.
That's why he's my wife.
I know.
That's why I said almost. There's
almost everyone.
It's really weird. And like every time I've made a D&D character like on that little niche, I've never noticed that almost every single one, except for one, maybe, have all been ace.
Yeah.
Because like, whatever. That's not a thing I'm into right now. I want to slay the dragon.
For the adventure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just so weird that I find that odd. Because like you can love other things. That's all. I made a paladin of Cord, who was a huge nerd.
Yeah.
And people are like, that is not Cord. You need physical strength. Like, no, I do have strength. I have strength in my knowledge, and I have strength in all these things, and my faith to my God is strong.
Heart.
Yeah, it's all about my heart.
Also, because a paladin isn't your strength of faith also a good enough?
Yeah, that's my basic argument. Like the fact that I am a paladin in and of itself equals that I have faith.
Exactly. Also, it said that all paladins are nerds. Correct.
Yes, they're all
nerds.
Yes, every single one of them. I think sometimes more nerdy than the wizard.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I have not if you're ever in a party and that party goes to a library, there are two exact classes that get super excited when you go to the library. One it's always going to be the wizard and the paladin, and sometimes the knowledge cleric if you have one.
I was gonna say, and then there's that weird kid that just sits in the
That
corner, and
weird
that's the
knowledge
warlock.
And then there's the warlock who's like ripping pages out of books and trying to act like he's not a nerd, but he secretly is.
Yeah. He's in the manga.
He's in the manga. He's in the
getting
manga.
Off track. So if you are going a little bit into homebrew, because Vic, you're making a homebrew world. I'm making a homebrew world. I think yours is different though because you're making a new system. Versus mine, it's still going to be played as a Dungeons and Dragons game. It's just, I
mean, for the most part, it's going to be Dungeons and Dragons inspired for sure. So a lot of the mechanics are going to kind of come out of 5th edition for that world.
Yeah, okay.
But I might have like some variations here and there. It's all got to be like test played and etc. just to make sure it rolls together. But yeah, essentially it'll be kind of different.
Which
I might pull Call of Cthulhu into it because I like how that works.
I want to play a Call of Cthulhu game.
I had so much fun playing Call of Cthulhu. I never want to go back.
I've only had one experience with the Call of Cthulhu and it wasn't good. I want a good Call of Cthulhu experience. I really do. I also want to make sure I want to put you guys through a Dread game, like a one shot on Halloween, if we can ever, be physically close to each other. And I want to just
hope for next Halloween.
I want to make you guys cry. That is my goal. But on those things, so homebrew content.
Yes.
Here's my slight legalities that I've been getting around and trying to. Well, not getting around. That sounds like I'm like doing something illegal. Going through and having to adjust what I need to adjust and whatnot. So as an example, it's going to be a 5th edition game. I never will say this can be played with D&D 5th edition. Not that I have anything to do with that. I am not building a class.
Right.
I am not making spells. I am not writing what an elf is. You can make classes and you can do spells and custom magic items and I am a desert elf. That's amazing. And you can put in the homebrew world, but I don't think that you can legally publish that. The RPG drive-through is kind of an amazing middle ground because they pretty much talk to if you want to publish it and make money off of it, essentially. RPG drive-through is one of those places where you can publish it and make nothing out of it, or if you put a fee on it. And how they're going to do is D&D says, all right, dude, sure. As long as it's not offensive, as long as it doesn't break any laws, like laws of the actual land, so the U.S., you can give me 50, though. Which is understandable.
Right.
So if you want to, avoid those things, and not get any gray area, I highly recommend that when you do, I'm going to have a section on how elves, the main races, how dragonkin, I won't say dragonborn because I did not make dragonborns.
Right.
Dwarves, elves, gnomes, humans, orcs, these guys have kind of been around. I cannot do tieflings. I cannot do mind flayers. As an example, there will be the infernal kin, beast kin, dragon kin, stuff like that.
Yeah, we have kind of a similar thing that we're doing for at least the world of Alistair. You have the standard fantasy races, which are pretty much free domain no matter what: dwarves, elves, gnomes, that kind of thing. Halfling is kind of because of Lord of the Rings and then wizards and all that. But
which I think that's why the smaller race is kind of a thing that they use. I don't. Yeah.
Right. We have like a fun little sneak peek into how I'm doing world building. We have a whole lore based around how all these creatures came to be. And one of them is I guess kind of funnish. I'm trying to say it as vaguely as I can without giving too much away.
Yeah,
but basically, it's one of
100%.
those things where we have a pantheon. We had to create gods, and we had to create
Yes.
like systems of beliefs, and
Please
like
make sure you
through one
create
of those,
gods.
yeah, always, and through one of those systems of beliefs, there was a whole like take for instance, our new friend Ferris from Rise of Tiamat. She is a character that is probably going to show up in the comic, and it's like,
That's
oh,
awesome.
she's a cat person. In D&D land, she's a tabaxi.
Yes.
But in Alistair's world, she would be either catkin or catfolk like or something
Yeah.
like that. And like the whole lore of that is like a god went up to a cat one day and the cat was like, "Yo, I want to be like people," and the god went, "Bet, fam," and just there you go.
I love that. That's amazing. Bet fam, what up?
What up? Bam! You're walking on two legs now, and you got to pay taxes.
Oh, there's a meme that's like, well, as soon as you're awake, some overly powerful things like, oh, you're awake now. You must pay to be alive. But I didn't choose to be alive. Also, I don't want to pay. Well, too bad. You're alive. Therefore, you owe it. You are now in debt.
I realized the creation of that race is that one meme where it's like somebody's holding a microphone in front of the cat. It's like, "Sir, are you aware you're a cat?"
How
Cat
dare
is
you.
like, "Oh shit, I'm a cat."
Yeah. So as you can make the lore, which is like Age of Maya is going to be lore.
Right.
It's going to be maps that are custom, gods that are custom. I am paying the artist to draw these. Like, going through all those routes. It's going to be in like, I'm like, this is what I'm using it for. Don't just pay an artist and then like do whatever the heck you want with it. Like, I think context is appropriate for stuff like that. If we ever get music, like we're I guess whatever. We're making a story. We're making a world. We're not making the game.
Right.
That's, I think, the big reason on how you can publish things and sell them with IPs that already exist.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's a fun thing that was mentioned in the chat. So the
Please.
McElroys, as we know them, because they're known for the Adventure Zone, and that was a D&D podcast that they put together, and they basically recorded and published online and did live shows of, and so it got into such a big thing that they started writing and making graphic novels for them. And so, as stated here, the McElroys published their graphic novels. They had to change a lot of stuff that was originally copyrighted from the D&D books, like names and locations and such.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. Also, dear Frat, can we cats give pets back to humans? Bro, sick. Let's do it.
that's the
day I have to roleplay as Frat is just going to be a day for me. I think I need like a week to mentally prepare for that.
Don't worry.
I'm just gonna have to like rewatch The Big Lebowski like 5 times.
My first thought was like, don't worry, bro. Just give me some Molly. You'll be fine.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, man. Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs. For legal reasons. Don't do drugs.
Yeah, don't smoke weed until it becomes legal.
Yes.
That's a whole different argument.
I mean, depending on the state you're in.
Yeah. So I mean, those are just my. I guess all this could be concluded with this as permission. If you don't think it's wrong, you should probably just read the terms and services of whatever you're doing. Note that this is not yours. They're allowing you, because any one of these franchises and IPs can just say stop. No.
Yep.
And they're just allowing us to do so. Give credit.
There's another way around it too.
What's up?
That, like I'm writing basically a story of the game that the kids played, and I have to be very conscious of copyright laws that I cannot.
That's right, because you're running out of a specific module.
Exactly. So I have to say that basically I was inspired by it.
Yeah.
That also.
Oh yeah, the whole term D&D inspired, or
exactly, and then I also change a lot of things on there to make it similar but different, and that way it there's no connection between the two and stuff like that. how the game is set up and the reason why things happen is completely different. The way, not completely, but somewhat different than what I got. I kind of threw a twist into it,
Gotcha.
With some alien DNA, which nobody thought of.
Nice.
So, there's a way you can get around it. It's just that you just have to make sure that everything you write has to be completely different. Like I don't create, like when I play a game or stuff like that, I don't create new animals, new mutations, new powers, new weapons, or anything like that. I mean, there's enough stuff, articles in magazines like Dragon Magazine, people writing stuff, people making their own chart, stuff like that. I copy them and I kind of use them, but I also change them when I put it down on paper. But I don't like, the only creation I do is when I'm writing. Like if there's a certain mutated animal in the game that they interacted with, I have to change it completely.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to keep some similarities, like what it basically does. How can I twist it? How can I turn it a little bit? How can I make it different? So what I do is I make my own little table, like one situation where the group interacts with the first animal. Well, the first animal is a giant, not a giant, but extremely large, about the size of a bear, I would say, mosquito with no wings, but it also can turn invisible.
Oh God, that's worse.
I have to
worse and worse.
So I keep the invisibility part. I keep the part that basically, it does suck blood and stuff like that, but I have to change the animal completely. So I make a table of mammal, reptile, fish, bird, and then I just roll. And then I go to, if I pick a certain bird, okay, now I go to Wikipedia or something on the internet, and I try to find a species of birds. And then I'll count how many they are, and I roll the dice there. And then I'll explore there. And I'll basically keep rolling dice until I come up with one animal. So then I got to figure out, okay, how can I change this up? How can I make it different? That's where the creativity for me comes in. When you put it down on paper and you're basically using the part of the story that happened, but you're changing it completely as far as there is no evidence of the same animal being there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's a really cool creature building practice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I got tables and tables and tables of stuff. I mean, anytime I come up to a situation in the book, I'll make a table out, and then I'll just roll the dice and see what direction the story goes. So it's basically partly driven by the kid's decision. It's also basically driven, like I always say, we're always prisoner to the dice.
Yeah.
And it's also where I have to look at the story and see how does it connect, how does it work, and figure it out from there. Sometimes it takes me days, weeks, or months to figure out, okay, how do I want to do this? So, I mean, now I'm stuck because I'm re-editing my story, and my boss, she sent it back to me, and there's one part that I made it too easy, and I have to make it more complicated. So I have to go back and kind of, not dumb it down, but make it a little bit tougher, a little bit more thinkable.
Yeah.
Palatable? Palatable? Would that be a way to say it?
Yep.
And there's, for other medias like books or series, I know that this one of the biggest animes, well, not one of the biggest, sorry, a really big anime, and one that I love and I recommend everybody watch, is The Record of Lodoss War. Was from my understanding, that was based on the writer's actual D&D game.
What?
And I think there was like a video game attached to it as well, but like the original story and those characters were from a campaign that they had. So like using this can be a transformative method to do other things. You just, they never said this is D&D. It's just, we have a cool elf lady with a sword and a cool little gnome guy with the flute.
Honestly, when you mentioned anime to recommend, my brain already like auto-filled before you said it, and I was like, it's Saint Seiya, isn't it? It's Saint Seiya, isn't it?
Not this time. Saint Seiya has nothing to do with D&D. They're just really cool
but
Sailor Moon ripoff. That's all it is.
but imagine a Saint Seiya campaign though.
It's called Theros. Thank you.
Okay. I'm glad you're getting your fix.
No, I've thought of it, and I know that nobody will give a two hoots of a care for it. So.
I know somebody who wants to make a D&D game or D&D inspired game based around kind of the same concept but a video game from the 90s.
Sonic?
No, it's the
Kingdom
one.
Hearts?
No, but it is made by Sony.
I've been in a Kingdom Hearts game. We all had
No,
it
is. I'm watching her as I'm talking about it. And I'm just like waiting for her to turn around, but she probably has her headphones.
Oh, is it Legends of Dragoon?
Yes, the Legends of Dragoon.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I've been told that this is a game that she wants to make into either a one shot or like a short campaign because the lore of this world and like the mechanics of it work so well with D&D that it's like amazing.
Nice. I have, and I will say that I have made a Saint Seiya character in D&D whose name was Shiryu, and he was a monk. And all I did was pump everything and every feat that I could into his AC. But yes.
And we did some digging on it, and we actually did find somebody who actually made a homebrew class for the Dragoon, and we're like, oh fuck, that's actually really cool though. Oh, there she went. She slowly turned her head like, huh?
Dragoon?
I
mean, I'll be down for a Legend Dragoon styled game. That would be pretty cool. But yeah. So let's open it up to chat. We have those last. Did
you hear something you thought that you heard or what?
I thought I heard something, but I don't know.
My body just read Dragoon in the Aether, and I have been summoned.
Don't worry about it. No, we were talking about you and your desire to make a Legend of Dragoon game, and I was like, I'm gonna be talking about it while her headphones are in, and she's gonna immediately turn around because she'll sense it in her spirit. And you did.
It's live. We heard it.
It's all alive. It was heard.
I turned around because my back hurt, but okay.
Damn. All right. I'm gonna read chat real quick. Let's see. Yes, a lot of me and Lynn's lore building has been going from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. talking nonstop for 6 hours straight. Sometimes after demi-planes, we'll just sit there and just start talking stupid until it makes sense. And we're like, wait, write that down.
Yeah, you did that this past Saturday.
Yeah, we did that this past Saturday.
It's so hard to do that because a lot of my there has been a shift in my life, just I guess rhythm or pattern. Which I still am the sun's up, therefore I must be up.
Yep,
but
that's
I
me.
also have turned into, in the past I don't know, like 6 years, most of my inspiration hits when the sun's down. So I'm inspiration, I must write this. And then I get really tired. And I'm like, all right, I just can't even go to sleep. And then the sun comes up and it's like, cool, I also can't sleep now because I have energy to get up, but my body wants to sleep.
Yeah, let us sleep.
Yeah.
Reading through. Books are a huge inspiration for Lynn. Jayon, the character comes from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Grayson came from Dorian Gray.
That makes sense for Grayson.
I mean, yeah, Grayson. Let's see, short. Yeah, Lodos War was awesome. The D&D campaign was transcribed into a magazine that then turned into an anime. That's fucking cool.
Oh, I didn't know it was a magazine. That's really dope. That's awesome.
Also, it said Grayson defo gives me fancy lad Dorian vibes. Correct. Yes. He is a fancy lad.
Fancy.
Fancy lad. And now Shelby has the same haircut as Grayson.
What, for real?
Yeah, with
That's
a white
cool.
streak in her hair.
That's fucking dope.
That's pretty dope. I mean, it was like completely like the stars aligned. It wasn't intentional, but it was. I think. Oh, the only intention was to shave a side of a head.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened, and it's like my brain immediately went, it's Grayson. Let's see. Jesus is not an early bird or a night owl. He is a permanently exhausted pigeon.
Facts.
Facts.
Give me all the crackers. I need them. They're fuel.
Crackers and bread is all he needs to survive.
That's it. A little bit of water every now and then, but yes.
We'll soak it in water. It's fine.
So,
sure you get your nutrients.
When are we getting the Grayson cosplay?
Oh my god. Yeah, so when it comes to a Grayson cosplay, you have to dress like basically like a Victorian dandy with thigh-high boots. Yeah. That's the only way to do appropriate Grayson cosplay. And a cravat. There has to be a cravat. Ah, man. The day I see a Grayson cosplay, I'll probably just like lay on the ground and my soul will leave my body. But I mean, same thing if I ever see a West cosplay that's not my own, I'll just be like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that's when you know you've made it.
We were just talking the other day about how like essentially how our friendship started because we were in the same Discord. And then I was just talking about West from Sacred World, and then she's just like, I want to draw West. He seems kind of cool. And then she drew a picture of West. I was like, look, I drew West. And it was like the fucking sexy pinup I sent you that first time. I was like, look, someone drew my boy.
I'll give you $5 a cosplay. That doesn't count, but I'll give you $5 a cosplay, Grayson.
I'll give you $5 and his favorite wine.
No, that adds to it. You
gotta add the zest. You have to add the zest.
Someone zest. I was once heard that you've made it into your career when you can go to the grocery store and buy food based on the income for your art. I think that's false. You made it when you had people cosplaying your OCs.
Correct. I have two means of making it. Just in general in life and as and as a creator. One, I can go to the store and buy things without having to worry about looking at the price tags. And two, seeing my character in cosplay.
I wanna... Oh, that brings me war flashbacks.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm pretty fine in society. Like, I work hard.
Okay, when I can buy the name brand instead of the Great Value brand, that's when I know I've made it.
Yeah, no. So that's where this is going.
Yes.
Like I like is a two-story home, and my income is pretty good, and like I have gas in my car. I'm doing fairly well. I'm at least like bottom tier of the rich class. Because I no longer have to eat out of a trash can like I did when I was a child. Like, I no longer have to work 2 jobs and get paid none of it like I did when I was a child. So I know I've made it. And I was out grocery shopping with the GF, and she's like, how much is your income? Insert income. No, you're like bottom middle class. You're not even anywhere near where you think you are. You barely make more than a teacher. But like, I can buy all the ramen and this name brand bread. Like, hun, no, you're not. No, we're still bottom. Oh, how the fuck do these people make so much money?
No.
And so that's the solution. I just thought of that. It was a great day.
No. It's been suggested that Shelby should cosplay as Tabin, and I'm like, oh no.
What? Yes, do it.
That's where my life ends. Right there. The second... My little bard heart is just gonna, like, die.
Yeah.
The day I meet my grandfather.
Let's say that we have our friends cosplay our characters. It's gonna be great. It's that's why I haven't like wanted to do anything for Ren Fair really, is because like I don't like my big, which I like that it's been taken out of my hands and it's created into whatever it's been created into. But which I have a legit reason on how this works for other worlds. But excuse me, Jesus, you did an Alistair. I did Alistair hair. That's not the same thing as Alistair cosplay. Also, that's proof that Alistair has way too much hair, because when I did mine, it's so tiny in comparison to the volume of his actual hair. So, like, don't even at me. But I was gonna say that there's like so much to that person to cosplay him, and what you guys have turned him into. I love it.
Listen, I sent you the link to those cosplay hooves.
I know. I don't want to walk in high heels for like 7 hours.
You don't have to. We can just do it for a photo shoot and be done.
Yeah, but I want to be rude and call people cunts and drink ale at Ren Fair.
That's fair.
You just want to be a dick and get drunk. Yeah, I want to be Dis.
I just want to be an asshole. Just. Oh, Lynn says that she'll die if anyone cosplays Dis.
Do it for the vines. There is a TikTok that Vic and I are want to work on with. There's a Wes and a Dis in there.
That's right, we do.
We need to do that.
We do need to do that. Hey, you don't need your bottom half for that in TikTok.
I don't. I just need to gain 200 pounds worth of demon muscle.
That's fair. Hey, they have. I showed you those silicone chest molds. We can do it.
I'll just buy my titties online. All right, thank you.
Yeah, do what I do and buy them online.
Oh man, yeah.
If you can't homegrow them, store-bought's fine.
Yeah, it's cosplay. It's whatever. It's those memes where like you see that nerdy kid going to the gym and trying his hardest until you just delete it. People are like, wow, what is his inspiration? He goes home, puts on a Goku wig.
Lynn just saying she'd die if somebody actually cosplays Addie posts there. Hey, I know one person that cosplayed Addie and did a really fantastic job.
What? Really? Pixar didn't happen.
Pixar did. Yeah, it's one of the thumbnails on our latest.
I was gonna say. I think she means somebody other than her for sure.
Nah. Oh, apparently there's somebody that can cosplay
as Dis from the Westland tribe.
Member of the Waste. Oh man, I want to go to Wasteland.
Yes, Wasteland Tribes is
gonna go.
We need to go to the 100%. DruidCon, which DruidCon, it could literally be in my backyard. I have an entire forest.
DruidCon, yeah, no, DruidCon is just us going to the woods and not talking to people. That's literally DruidCon. Also, we like wave fire and scream.
Yes. All these things must happen.
All of these things will happen.
Yeah. I'm gonna really rip and I can cosplay Bo from ReRoll.
That's so valid.
Yes, dude.
So
cosplay
valid.
Bo. That's awesome. That was when I met you, dude. I was at my like fittest, and that's because I wanted to cosplay certain characters. Like
that's valid. Yeah, getting ripped just specifically for cosplay. That's so valid.
That's I mean, why do you want to go through the pain of being in that physical body if it's not to wear cool outfits? Like, what else are you gonna do? Wear blue jeans and a shirt and go to the mall? Nah. Let me scream like Goku.
Look, yeah, I mean cosplay. It's the best reason. Like I always think back to that one. If it was like a Vine or a video or something I saw on Tumblr, where this dude was like cosplaying as like one of the Power Rangers, and like everybody got so hyped the second they saw him. They're like, yes, man, you're my childhood. And I'm like, yes, that's such a good feeling.
Yeah, it's the community. It's the inspiration.
Yeah, it's a good community. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that love. Oh, running. Because I have nothing else to really talk about for the legality thing, because I think we've covered it enough.
We pretty much did some good covers of it. Yeah.
You know, bottom line, it's just common sense. I mean, if you think that
common sense, ask
pay attention to what you're doing, understand. In the internet, whatever you do, somebody's going to respond to it.
Yeah,
so if you're not prepared and you do it, then you're going to have a problem.
Yeah, just do it in good faith. Be polite.
Yeah. Be smart. Yeah, be smart. Ask permission. Pay your artists.
Get your ducks in a row.
Get those ducks.
I got sent a pic of Grayson's dad so I can see what to work with. Okay.
Oh.
And this is called CYA. So always CYA.
What is? Do I have to look? What does that stand for? Do I have to look it up?
Cover your ass.
Oh, there we go. Hey, literally opened a new tab. Like, is that a legal term? What does that mean?
Is that it?
Yeah.
I need to learn this.
Yeah, CIA. Yeah, there you go. Oh, CIA. Yeah, man, that's funny. Oh, that's great. That's,
Wait, I'm on the wrong page.
lovely.
Oh my god.
All right,
I'm like scrambling to get a picture of Tabin because I've been
Tevin.
told to send it.
Oh, but all right. Well, I'll have this open for a little bit just to see if we have any last minute questions or anything from chat. Hey, chat, how are you doing? How's your day? Did you drink enough water today? How much water did you? Have you peed enough? Because
That's something you should ask people.
that's a question that I was told. Like, if you drink enough water, are you peeing enough? Because that could also be a different issue.
Oh boy.
Have you been eating your veggies? Have you been eating your broccoli? Broccoli's good.
There we go. Sent.
This is definitely a normal question. I know. I know. I asked all the normal questions. How are you doing? How's your hair?
Yeah,
Did you brush your hair today? I didn't. I don't dare. You always put broccoli on pizza. All I hear is blasphemy from you, child. Broccoli and pizza it's my favorite, one of my favorite dishes. So I picked that today.
Yeah, Lynn's been having a migraine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hope you feel better.
Yeah.
Yep. Picture has been received.
Picture has been received. People are in love.
I was thinking of Tabin's lore, and it actually rose me from the grave. Yeah, I was a part of that conversation.
Migraine
We had a fun conversation about
Vic, what
yes.
did you say?
I sent a picture of Tabin to
Which
to
one?
Shelbert. The one I drew. Wait, what do you mean, which one?
Like, is it appropriate?
Yes, it's appropriate. He's dressed.
All right then. I don't know. It's you and Lynn. That's ass.
Fair. Oh yeah, that's right. I never sent you our last thing. Hold on.
Also, because of that,
I totally forgot. I forgot to send you our Zesty tier art.
Where is the zest? Where is that D?
Okay, hold on. Let me go get it.
It's like Thirst Queen.
Yes, I have a specific folder for it, and I have them labeled by months. So that's important to know. Also, you might recognize this guy.
Okay. Oh, did I tell you that one time you sent me one and oh yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. You sent me one of this. No, the Lynn drew one of this that is like artistically.
And I sent it.
Yes. So whichever the correct combination is, I got a D pic, essentially in art form. When I was looking at it, and my mother, the greatest mother in the world, came and looked at it. And I was like, and she's like, "What is that?" Because she just saw, I think, the face. I was like, "That's really."
I love how casual your mom is. Just like,
and I was like, "Oh, here you go." And she's like, "Oh, that's really nice." And then like, yeah, zoom out, look the whole thing. He's like, "Oh, well, that's impressive. Here you go."
Congrats, Lynn. Your Jesus's mom has complimented your disc art.
She really liked it.
Well, moving on up in the world. I live for your mother's approval.
She's the best mama.
She is.
I love that woman. I have no strength without her. She is every positive thing in the world.
Yes, she is.
Tevin is my original incarnation. Was so tragic. I'm glad that he's still an
Absolutely. Yes.
Are you okay? All right, you reading it?
Yes.
All right, you read? Okay, cool.
I read it. It's okay. All right. Anyway.
But all right, guys. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it for today. We've derailed from legal to D-pics.
Cosplay.
So,
Yes.
well, legal cosplay homebrew D-pics.
Yes, we did it. We did it.
We did it, y'all. All right. Thank you so much for listening to us ramble as every
And
single
if you
podcast
weren't
is.
paying attention, that's on you.
As we said, we are not by any means
not lawyers.
accountable
Yes.
for your decisions. We can give advice, but please by no means take it. We are not.
Yes.
I did not
Take it
pass
at
the
your own
bar.
risk.
I didn't even take it.
All right, guys. Please be safe. Please be careful out there. Don't forget
right.
to love each other. We'll see you on the next one. Adios.
Bye.
Charmaine.